Hey, this is Pastor Scott Cruz, and this is Digging Deeper in the Rock for our Samson series, part 1. And so today the reading is Judges chapter 14, verses 10 through 20. And I'm going to let you read that on your own. I thought about reading it on the video, but then I did it and I watched it and it was cumbersome. So take a minute, look at the notes down below, and read that and read those verses. But the first observation that I want to make with you today is that I want to encourage you to think before you speak and not allow yourself to bluster. Samson is ironically an insecure guy, even though he is incredibly powerful and incredibly called of God. He's an insecure guy, and he's in this wedding party. He's beating his chest saying how tough he is, and he makes his bet with the 30 garments of clothes with these guys. And it goes to really bad places. It causes innocent people to be killed. He doesn't get the wife that he wishes he had. He all kinds of bad things happen. And it all starts with rash blustering. I'm so big and tough and I'm smarter than you. So I want to encourage you, it's not a good idea to let your emotions get the better of you and to bluster like that and to make claims that maybe you won't be able to follow up on. Under promise and over deliver. You know, I want that. I try to do that myself. I try to under promise and over deliver, because then you're always the hero. If you over promise and under the hero, even if you did good stuff, you're viewed as a jerk because you broke your word. And so Samson needed to learn that. You know, number two, the thing that I see in these verses that I didn't talk about on Sunday, but I think is worthwhile. You know, his wife comes to him crying, "Won't you please tell me the answer to this riddle?" And he says, "No, that's not what I'm going to do." And it wasn't the right decision to tell her the answer to the riddle, because she was just going to go tell these other people, and then all kinds of bad things happen. So this gets worse and worse as time goes on. But she cries for 7 days, and the Bible says Samson went crazy. He was completely out of his head, pulling out his hair and screaming, and said, "Fine, woman, I'm going to tell you." And he tells her, and in the very next verse, she tells everybody else, and then really bad things happen. I want to encourage you that if you have prayed, if you have asked God, if you have thought about a situation, and you make a decision, and it's the right decision, and someone comes to you, and they cry, and they want you to change your mind, if it was the right decision before, it's still the right decision after they cried. There have been times when I've had people be very emotional and they've cried and they've pushed me, and I've changed my mind. And even as I did it, I still didn't think it was the right decision, but they were putting so much pressure, I caved and I changed my mind. If it was the right decision before you got the pressure, it's still the right decision after. I want to encourage you to do the right thing, even if in the short term it's painful for that person or yourself, because they're crying for 7 days. My wife has never done that to me. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. Third, Samson shows us how completely shallow he is. "Had you not plowed with my heifer, you would not have solved my riddle." He didn't love her. She was just a cow to him. And, you know, pride is ugly. Insecurity, which is hand in hand with pride, is ugly. You know, the best guitar player in the room doesn't have to brag how good he is on the guitar. Someone who really knows what they're doing doesn't have to brag, doesn't have to tell people. He has a quiet confidence about him. I want to encourage you to walk around with a quiet confidence. And for the guy who's beating his chest and blustering, I want to encourage you to minister to him by encouraging him, because he's really insecure. Lord bless you. I hope you check this out again tomorrow, and hope to see you in church on Sunday.